Hello, abnormal family. I hope y'all are having a wonderful Sunday. Uh, Hopefully, eating dinner with your family, hanging out with family, making memories. That's what we do on Sundays. Also, don't forget, we're going to be doing another Boots on the Ground coming up. For some reason, the Boots on the Ground we done is showing that it's still processing inside of our StreamYard, and we don't know what's happening. So I've been talking to YouTube, and it seems to be a technical issue with the live, so I don't know if we'll be able to get it fixed or not, which is frustrating, but we're doing everything we can. Here's today's live. We sat on the lake's edge, surrounded by the darkness of the night, the water lapping gentle against the shore. My girl and I cast our lines out into the water, the faint glow of our bobbers shining like tiny lanterns in the dark. The stars up above, they twinkled like diamonds in the sky, and the night air was sweet with the scent of honeysuckle and wildflowers. It was a perfect night. We sat in a comfortable silence, the only sound being the occasional splash of the fish breaking the surface of the distant hoot of an owl in the woods. It was a peaceful moment, just us and the lake and the night, with nothing but the sound of nature and the beat of our own hearts. As we sat there, lost in the tranquility of the night, we thought we heard something walking in the woods behind us, something that sounded too big to be a raccoon and too deliberate to be a deer. We started to get a little afraid, Mike. The rustling of the leaves and the snapping of the twigs seemed to come in steady rhythm, like the sound of 2 feet walking in sync. Our hearts skipped a beat as we realized that whatever was making that noise was walking on 2 legs and was headed straight for us. We exchanged a nervous glance. Our eyes looked in silent understanding. We were no longer alone on that lake. With our hearts still racing, we quickly gathered our gear and loaded it into the truck, our eyes scanning the darkness for any sign of movement. We didn't speak. We didn't need to. We both knew it was time to get out of there. The silence was oppressive, heavy with the unspoken threat. We tossed our rods and tackle into the bed, slammed the tailgate shut, and climbed into the cab, looking out and locking the doors behind us. The truck's interior was a welcome sanctuary, a cocoon of safety and familiarity. We sat there, engines silent, waiting for and watching, our eyes fixed on the darkness beyond the reach of the headlights. We didn't want to leave. We was having a good date already. As we sat there, frozen with anticipation, a figure emerged from the darkness, its eyes fixed on us with an unblinking stare. It was a man, but not quite. His features seemed to shift and ripple, like the surface of the lake on a summer's day. His face was long and pointed, his eyes gleamed with a canine intensity. He approached my girlfriend's window, his gaze locked on hers, and she felt a chill run down her spine. The man's eyes seemed to bore into her soul as if he could see every secret, every fear, every hidden truth. She was paralyzed with fear, unable to look away as the dog-like man pressed his face against the glass, his breath fogging the window in a slow, deliberate rhythm. My hand trembled as I raised my cell phone, my finger hovering over the camera app. The dog-like man didn't flinch, didn't blink. His eyes remained fixed on my girlfriend with the unnerving intensity. I snapped the photo of the camera's click glow over the scene, and then something strange happened. The man's eyes glowed bright yellow in the aftermath of the flash, like embers burning in the dark. I felt a shiver run down my spine as I realized that this was no ordinary creature, no ordinary man. The photo I took was proof, a digital capture of something that defied explanation. But all I got was a flash that reflected off the glass of the vehicle. I could not get the photo of the creature. So yeah, Mike, don't use a flash inside your vehicle. As the dog-like man's eyes continued to glow with such intensity, his hand reached out and grasped the door handle. My girlfriend's eyes widened in terror as she realized He was trying to open the door to get to her. The handle creaked and groaned, the sound echoing through the stillness of the night. I froze, my heart racing as I watched in terror. The man's hand was twisted and claw-like, his fingers long and spindly. It was like something I had never seen before. And then, just as suddenly as it started, everything was silent. The man's hand dropped, his eyes stopped glowing, and he vanished into the darkness. The only sound was my girlfriend's ragged breathing and the creaking of the door as it settled back into place. We peeled out of there, tires screeching and squilling into the gravel, and we didn't stop until we were back to civilization. Shaking, we called the game warden, trying to make sense of what we had just seen. But instead of concern or alarm, he laughed. "A dogman, you say?" he chuckled. "You kids and your wild stories." His dismissive tone was infuriating. But we knew what we saw, we knew what we felt, and we knew what we would never forget, that terrifying encounter on that lake. He continued to laugh. He wouldn't even take our report, Mike. Told us we needed to go home and get some rest. Well, I'll never forget, and I will never set foot in those woods again. Never cast a line into Table Rock Lake ever again in Missouri. I know what's out there now, lurking just beyond the tree line. I know what's watching from the shadows, waiting for its next victim. The memory of the creature's eyes glowing like ambers in the dark will haunt me forever. I'll never forget the feeling of being prey, of being hunted. No, I'll never go back. Some secrets are better left unspoken, Mike. Some terrors better left unfaced. I'll leave that place to the Dogman, to be the darkness that dwells within, and to the investigators like you, Mike, that go out into these places. I don't want to be there. I don't want to see them. I want to be left alone. I hope this helps somebody. It sounds like it was very fixated on your girlfriend. They do seem to be fixated on the women. That is something we have noticed over time, is that they do like the women. And it sounds to me that like that night that he was definitely after your girlfriend and he was interested in your girlfriend. Luckily the door held. You know, them kind of thoughts always run through my mind when that stuff happens, you know, is I hope the door works. I hope there's no mechanical, because if one little thing went wrong in that door, you know, one little thing was off and that door was to unlock, then what happens, you know? That's what always makes me wonder. Alright, guys, I appreciate y'all watching, supporting me, guys. It's Sunday. I hope y'all have a great Sunday. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so very much for everything you do. It is very heartfelt. Don't think it goes unrecognized, because we recognize each and every one of you. Please smash that like button, guys. It means so much to us. And until next time, guys, which will be Monday, we'll start with the double video dropping in all week. Keep your head on a swivel. Don't be something's dinner. And let's bring Hunter home where he deserves to be, guys. We'll see you on the next one.